everyone should know that your video will be showing, however, you will be muted. If you have a question, there's a chat link down below that you can write in, and then we'll relay the question to the mayor. First, I want to introduce and give a little background. I mean, his bio is so long, but I'm going to condense it a bit because I don't want to take too much of his time. Glenn Miller is mayor of Indio, the largest city in the Coachella Valley. He's a well-known community leader and businessman who has called the desert home for more than 30 years. In addition to Glenn's duties on the Indio City Council, he has been a certified golf course superintendent for over 30 years, where he has built and maintained such prestigious golf courses as the Indian Wells Golf Resort and the Mountain and Desert Dunes courses at the La Quinta Hotel and Resort. Miller's passion is his long-standing involvement with local and regional civic and nonprofit organizations. Known for his high energy and tireless work ethic, Glenn has been a longtime member of 2 Rotary clubs in the city of Indio, having served as the past president of both clubs, as well as being awarded the prestigious designation as a Paul Harris Fellow. Glenn exemplifies the meaning of service above self. And I want to add that Mayor Miller is a friend of mine on Facebook, and I wasn't on there yesterday, so I missed your birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you. And thank you for the kind words, Robin. I've known you a long time. You're an amazing ambassador to the realtors in our community.
Thank you so much. I have a couple questions to start out with,
Sure.
and then we can take it from there. I mean, I have a list of questions, but I want to get to the membership also. So to begin with, could you please give us an overview of the current shelter-in-place guidelines for Indio? And then added to that, are there any restrictions on what real estate agents are allowed to do when working, because we are now designated essential?
Well, thank you. First off, the way the city has been working is we're going along with the county health advisors guidelines. We're not doing anything more stringent other than short-term rentals, which we can talk about. We want to make sure that people coming into our city are following the rules, and that because Indio is known for its short-term rentals, that those people meet the guidelines set down by the county health agencies and also the governor of the state of California. So the city of Indio is pretty much following those guidelines. Right now, we worked with the city of La Quinta, Indian Wells, and Ranch Mirage and Palm Desert to get the golf courses open with certain guidelines. One of the things we helped do. And right now we're working with the city of La Quinta to come up with what the guidelines will be to open up other businesses throughout the Coachella Valley, but especially in the city of Indio and city of La Quinta, because we're working to get our businesses opened under the guidelines. So right now the guidelines are basically make sure that you're wearing a mask, make sure that you're social distancing, and making sure that when you're out and in public that you're going for essential services that are needed for you and your family, and at the same time protecting others. So we're basically following those basic guidelines, and we're making sure that essential businesses are open and that they're getting the support they need and they're following the rules. And the same with realtors. You know, we'd expect, you're all professionals. We'd expect you to follow those guidelines. And then as you adjust your needs per your meetings, I know a lot of you are doing virtual meetings and stuff, Zoom and other stuff, that you would protect yourself and your customers by following those guidelines at the same time.
And can you expand on the short-term rentals? I know that at Montage there was a fire that destroyed a house, and that was a short-term renter, as I understand?
Yeah, it was actually across the street from the city manager's home. That's where he lives. But it was an unfortunate fire. It started in the chimney, went through the attic. Thank God nobody was hurt, and they moved him to another location. We understand people coming into the city of Indio. We are very short-term rental friendly. But we want to make sure that when these people are coming in, that they're not coming here to party and celebrate and do other things, that they're coming here to stay, to shelter in place and utilize the beautiful weather and the city. But we just don't want to encourage people to start coming into the city thinking that they can, because they're leaving their hometown, that they're going to come here and congregate together. we've been able to slow the curve down for the COVID-19 coronavirus. And so we're making sure that people come in, you're welcome to the city of Indio, but you need to meet the guidelines of the short-term rental. So all we're asking the short-term rental licensee holders that if they are going to have short-term rentals, that they show us a contract, let us know what the persons are doing here. Are they essential workers, or are they going to be here a longer period of time? And with that, then we'll allow them to go forward.
Okay. So what are the city's numbers as far as the COVID virus?
Right now, we're sitting at 105 of the cases for the Coachella Valley with 3 deaths. You know, the city of Indio is by far the largest city. We're at almost 100,000. I think at the next census, you'll see we'll be about 101, 102,000. The next largest city is about 55,000. Coachella is right behind us with about 93 cases, unfortunately. But you got to think they have 45,000 people. We have 100,000 people. We're the second seat in the county. So we have all the county services. So we have everybody coming into our city anyways. We have the rescue mission and we have Martha's Village along with the ABC Recovery Center. So we're naturally going to have a few more cases, but our residents have done a great job of sheltering in place, especially our 55 and older communities who have pretty much followed the guidelines very well. So even though we have the highest amount of cases, when you really look at it per capita, we're very, very low. And that's because our residents and our businesses have followed through on the obligations that have been set down.
Okay, and then what is the outlooks for residents to get tested?
Testing is very readily available. You can do it at multiple locations here in Indio. One of them is at the fairgrounds where they have the mobile hospital put up by the federal government. It is not in use right now. It's basically part of the system in case there was a surge. It was never supposed to be for coronavirus individuals. It was supposed to be overflow from the hospital to get the people out of there into the actual area there to recover so that they weren't with people with the COVID-19 coronavirus. But there's a testing site that goes through there that you can go in and get tested. It's very quick and simple. It's a mobile line that goes through. Basically, they come in and swab you and they take you out. And then there's all other locations that where the city's doing mobilely wise, that, you know, different churches. As if you look at our indio.org website, it'll have different locations and places going on. So there's quite a bit of opportunities along with your doctor's offices that we're looking at. And I know the county and the state and federal government are looking to open up CVS's and other places to do mobile testing also.
Is the testing for antibodies or for antigens?
It depends. Depends on the location. You know, some of it is just trying to look at people to get a quick and easy test if they're not sure of symptoms. Everybody that's being tested, a lot of it has to come with doctor referrals, but not all. You know, if you really feel you have the symptoms, they're sending you through the line, and you have a pretty much a time frame that you need to go in so that they know you're there. They're tracking people by being able to set appointments. So a lot of the people that are going in are getting the full testing.
Okay. I have a question here that Marnie Balog is a little bit unclear on your short-term rentals during COVID. You are not allowing non-essential workers to rent short-term? If so, what is their minimum stay?
It has to be a minimum of a week, and mostly we are trying to tailgate in terms of set back as many people coming in that are just coming for vacation that come in, because there's really nothing for them to do. You know, you can't go to any locations. So we're looking at week, 2 weeks, but most of the people that are coming in for short-term rentals have been essential workers or people that have had contracts or have already been able to put their name in on the list of wherever they're going to stay. Up to a month, a lot of it is but the average we're seeing of people coming into the city. So it has to be a minimum of a week, and it has to be approved by the city with the owner of the short-term rental, the permit holder coming into the city and providing that paperwork.
Okay. I have heard on both sides of the spectrum, there are restrictions on contractors. I know there's people that are in the middle of doing remodel or just want to add an addition to their house. Are there any restrictions on contractors?
No, absolutely not. Not in the city of Indio. The city of Palm Springs did that. The city of Indio is working virtual with a lot of our inspections. We're meeting one-on-one with appointments. We have a lot of building going on. All our home builders are building. All of our new businesses. We have Vallarta, which is like a Trader Joe's of the Hispanic food market, is being built where the old Marshall's was, over next to Treasure Chest in that area there, where the Marshalls went across the street. They took that building there. It's going full bore. And so is our apartments downtown. So the city of Indio is open for business. We have no restrictions on contractors other than to make sure that you follow the guidelines set in place. And our permits are as robust than it was before the COVID-19 issue.
Can you talk about hotels and whether or not people other than, essential workers, are the hotels operating in Indio?
Most of our hotels are shuttered. Not all. A lot of our larger hotels that are helping with the COVID-19 first responders, people that are essential work that's coming through. So we have quite a few that are open. Some of them have wanted to shutter because they're doing expansions or remodels. But there is enough hotel rooms in the city of Indio for individuals coming in. We do have a lot of people that are coming in that are caring for family members, and we're allowing them to come in and stay at our hotels. But I would say about half the hotels in the city of Indio are at capacity in terms of ability to take people in. Maybe not their whole facility, but at least half of their hotel rooms are available.
Is this something that the city can discuss as far as real estate agents? Because there's a lot of people that come in from out of area that want to buy property. And if we can't have them stay at a hotel overnight to look at properties, and we use all the safeguards, is that something that we could present to the city to allow?
Absolutely. And the city's here. We're trying to get back to normalcy as soon as possible and keep our businesses rolling. That's why we're working with the city of La Quinta right now, Mayor Evans, to come up with the guidelines that we feel that will be safe for our employees, safe for our businesses, and safe for our residents and guests that are shopping or working in the city of Indio. So we're pushing forward on how we can set those guidelines up so everybody knows in advance what they're expected of them. And we don't expect any difference. You guys are true professionals in your business. If that's something you need us to go back, I'm sure it's allowed already, but if that's something you need us to do to go back to our hotels or look at what we need to do to make sure that they're open for you guys to bring in clients, as long as they're handling the safeguards, I'm sure the city of Indio, I don't think we have a problem now, but I'm sure if we have to clarify it, we can get that clarified for you.
Right. It was suggested that perhaps we could have some kind of document that this is for showing purposes for somebody who's very interested in the area.
Right.
And we could show that to the city. I mean, that was one suggestion. I thought it was a great idea.
It is a great idea. And it's something I think we should probably fly up the flagpole to the county at the same time, because we're working all in conjunction with trying to make sure, our valley is very tight knit. We all interact together with businesses and workers and that. So I don't see that being a problem where the city of Indio could lead it and talk to the county about them putting that to make sure that it's throughout the whole Riverside County that's available, because you're following the safeguards. And like I said, we're trying to keep people active and busy. We want people to feel that we're open for business, be safe, be cautious, but let's continue to prosper.
I have a question from Alan Braden. He's asking what is happening in North Indio. I would assume that it has to do with development, or if there's anything different going on in North Indio.
Not really. North Indio is our newest community. Obviously, it's been built over the last 10, 15 years. That's where a lot of our 55 and older communities have gone to, and a lot of our gated communities. The stores and that are open there. Obviously, some of them are shuttered, but and when it comes to development, I know Pulte is purchasing all the property just north of the Sun City Shadow Hills right now, across from Shadow Hills High School, and that will be about another 1,400 homes. They're in the middle of bringing that in to be able to do that. We have a bunch of other prospects over there and infill projects from everything from La Hispana to Paradiso that are filling in, and they're building homes now. So I would say we're in pretty good shape in terms of north side.
This is a question that has the council discussed the city budget and how it may be affected by the stay in place guidelines.
Yeah, of course we have. One of our biggest concerns is obviously the concerts, which is a major draw, just not only for the city of Indio, but also for the whole Coachella Valley. It has a $500 million impact to the state of California, $250 million to our area. We're looking at about a $5 to $7 million shortfall with TOT tax, sales tax, and ticket tax from the concerts. We've been addressing this for a while. We're very fortunate that over my last 12 years on the council, we've put enough money away to be able to weather any kind of issues we had if it was a small term fix to our budget. So we do have ample reserves we need, but we're also very fortunate we have Measure X money, which is general fund money that we put aside right now to do street infrastructure, our new buildings, libraries, and that. It can be utilized to shore up our budget. It's about $7 to $8 million a year. If we have to, we can put some of our projects on hold and utilize that money to shore up our budget. So I think we'll be fine in the short run. We are taking measures to make sure that we have quality public safety and services for our community. Like I said, the city of Indio is working. Every one of our employees has a job that they're doing on a continual basis, from our water to our public safety. So we're working full bore. And we're taking appointments to make sure we don't have as much interaction, but we are looking at ways to save money and at the same time be efficient with what we have. So yes, we are looking at that, but we are fine at this present time.
Great. I have a question from Laura Rodriguez Garcia. Can you talk about the downtown development that was recently presented in the council? Are they moving forward? And I might add, is there anything you can add about the transportation center?
Yeah, a couple of it. Yes, we are moving forward with the downtown. We did a short-term agreement to maybe E&A, which is to have them have an evaluation of the property downtown. So they are doing their due diligence now on what it would take to go ahead and develop the downtown, which would include City Hall area and about a square block from about White Steel up. They see the need because of the growth in the community here. You have the new detention center. College of the Desert's going to break ground on 2 brand new buildings over 100,000 square feet, which will bring in another 6,000 or 7,000 students a day. And then we also have at the same time, we have apartments going up that are along Oasis, and they're going full steam ahead. There'll be mixed use with development down below for restaurants, shops, and offices, and then up above it's 3 stories of apartments. So they are moving ahead. They see this as a short-term issue in terms of what it's going to take to develop, and they don't feel that at this present time that there's anything going to stop them from doing their evaluation and moving forward. And on the transportation center itself, that is part of our long-term goal. We're in the middle of designing our police and fire station to meet the goals of the city and needs of the city. It's over 50 years old. Transportation center is next on the agenda, along with our library, to start designing it and developing it for multiple transportation, including a train station, other bus services, Uber, cabs, and then also apartment complex next to it to be able to help with development in that area.
Great. I have a question from Andy Mallon. Has there been any conversation regarding rescheduling Coachella and Stagecoach festivals?
They're set to start in October. That'll be seen if the governor allows it to open up to have large scale events. You got to remember, Golden Voice is one of the largest concert promoters in the world. At the same time, they're doing Coachella Fest. They're doing the New Orleans Jazz Festival. They own the Staples Center. So they have some of the top doctors and people looking at what it's going to take to be able to make sure that they can put on a large scale event and have people safe. Right now, they're looking at the prospects of what that will take. They are scheduled to start in October. The concerts, basically when Desert Trip was supposed to happen, but now it'll be Coachella Fest and Stagecoach. but we're waiting on the governor and the county health officials to say that we're able to do large scale events. So they're planning on doing it. We would hope that they'll do it because it brings in millions of dollars not only to the city, but the community as a whole. But it's still a little bit up in the air. But Golden Voice is at the present time moving forward like it will happen.
There was a question about contact tracing. Is the city doing any of that at this time?
When we open up, one of the models that we see, we didn't agree to allow Mathis Brothers to open up. Mathis Brothers is challenging the county's assessment of it being an essential business. So they opened up without our blessing, and the county now is involved. But their process that they put in place under Bill Mathis, who's the owner of Mathis Brothers, is to test people, who they come through, how to track them, and everything else to bring people in businesses. And it is an ideal model for being able to have businesses open, especially large scale business, and be able to track individuals as they come through. They do testing, they have employees testing. So the county's looking at that, and so are we, to be able to track individuals as they go into some of these larger businesses. So we are working on it, and we see that as a good model. It was very well thought out and very impressive, even by the county health services. They looked at that, and you might see Mathis Brothers open up pretty soon with the blessing of the county as the area because of that. So yes, we will be doing that, and we will be watching.
And if they are doing that model, maybe we can have other business do the same.
Absolutely, and I think that's why Victor Manuel Perez, our supervisor, along with the city, is looking at that model as a large scale for places like churches, some of the other supermarkets and that. You know, it's a very simple and easy to do. It's a little bit inconvenient, you know, at the very start, but like anything else, once you get used to it, it'll move forward. So we're hoping that we can utilize that throughout the city to be able to help track it. So if the second wave, like they've talked about, comes in possibly after the summer, that we have a better handle on it.
Great. So Glenn, Mayor Miller, would you?
That's all right. Glenn's fine.
Please say anything that we may have missed. Any comments at all?
Well, first off, we want to appreciate you giving us the opportunity, or myself and the city, to get the opportunity to talk to you, let you know what's going on. You're a vital part of our economy, and you're all true professionals. So anything we can do to help you or help other businesses that interact with you, or anything else you can do, please let us know. Everything's on indio.org. The most updated information, services available on loans. We're looking to start giving small business loans here in the city. We're going to discuss that. We're looking at ways to open businesses up here very shortly to get commerce going. So we're working diligently to get things done. The City of Indio staff is all here working. And, you know, if you can't get us in person, we'll be able to set appointments up. So if there's something that's out there that you see that we need to do or help or hear, and like I said, you can find everything on indio.org. So we appreciate everybody working towards that. Continue like I do, mask up, you know, let's take those precautions. And as we're starting to open up our businesses and get back to normalcy the best we can, you know, follow those guidelines, social distancing, wear your mask, wash your hands, do the basics that you think you're going to do, so that not only protects you, those you love, but also the people around you. Together we'll get through it. And, you know, like I said, we take our instructions from really everyone. You know, it's our city, it's our valley, our community. And the only way we're going to get through this is together. So together we're stronger. So if you guys have suggestions or ideas or thoughts, know that we're here to make you successful. And the more successful you are, the more successful we are.
I have had a couple questions come through.
Sure.
A question from a local investor, Vaskander Bogazian.
Okay.
Do you have any intention to put on sale city-owned properties to the private sector?
Other than the properties that are spoken for, obviously College of the Desert, we're going to do a thing downtown that we already have agreements. Every city parcel is on sale. It's always on sale. Would we give it to at a better rate? Well, the state of California is a little sticky on that. It's not as simple as it used to be. I would love to be able to give some of our property away to build housing, apartments, and do different things, different businesses. but it kicks in prevailing wage, and the state's kind of sticky on doing that. So would we have property for sale, and would we partner with people to do it? Absolutely. We're here to succeed, and our success comes by investors and people investing in us. So come talk to Carl Morgan, who is based out of here. He's our economic development director. He will help you to see what you have in mind, and if we can help you get you that parcel and partner with you, we'll absolutely do it.
Mayor, there was a question regarding cannabis. Has Indio, they're asking how it's holding up, the industry, and if it's affected the budget. When did Indio allow?
The city of Indio hasn't allowed cannabis. We've kind of tabled it. We've watched a lot of the other cities struggle with it, including Coachella. I would say the model ordinance is in a couple of the cities. I'd say Desert Hot Springs done an excellent job of doing it, and it's helped them. They jumped in early, and they have the resources and the land to do it. Indio allows delivery into our city. We do not have dispensaries. We do not have any of the market right now. It just wasn't something that we felt we needed to jump into. Our budget wasn't based on it, and we want our residents to be able to get it if they need it, and they can get it by delivery. Will we go down that track eventually? Probably. We'll have to. How we do it and what we do to make sure it doesn't affect business quality around areas or quality of life is something we need to discuss. But even as a council, and we have Oscar Ortiz, who's one of our new council members, who was actually in the cannabis industry. He went to college and got a degree in chemistry. It hasn't pushed it yet. So because we know that it's not something that is vital to us, because it's readily available to our community. So if we jump into it, we'll make sure that we think it through before we do.
Okay. And in the delivery of cannabis, is that allowing the city any kind of revenue stream?
There really isn't a revenue stream, and we never thought we'd make money off it. It's not for us to be able to make money. We might go into it where there's an opportunity, but our budget is based off of trying to draw in businesses and individuals that are going to bring in higher paying quality of jobs. The market itself is getting saturated. I know a lot of people, individuals in it, and it's going to be kind of like the .com. You're going to have the big boys come in, and they're going to eat up the little ones, and there's going to be a lot of people that make a lot of money, and there's going to be a lot of people that lose a lot of money. So the city of Indio isn't banking on breaking any money out of it, because we'll have expenses through public safety and other issues that we'll have. It would be more amenity to the residents of our community that might need it.
I have one final question.
Sure.
From Catherine Robinson. Do you
Okay.
believe if there is a decline in COVID-19 and we do open in stages, schools will open prior to the date provided by the governor for working parents to go back to in-field workforce? One would think schools would be first to open.
Well, that's a difficult one, because the schools are independently run organizations, run through the state education down to the county, and then through the local jurisdictions, Desert Sands, Palm Springs, or CV. I would think it would, but I'm not sure there's a will to be able to bring all those people back to the schools and the children back in. I think they would rather shutter it. I can't say for sure. I would think it would be that way also. The declining cases, yeah, we see it starting to curve back the other direction, where it's not doubling as much as it used to. We're not having as many cases, even though we're testing more people, because some of the social stuff is distancing stuff and the measures we put in place are working. But at the same time, you have individuals that, as we open up, are going to need to follow those guidelines. So I think you'll see businesses open up. The ones that want to, there will be some businesses that won't want to open because of their personal beliefs, or they just don't feel that they can run or operate under those kind of parameters. But it will slowly move forward. And I personally, this is my personal belief, I don't think you'll see school start back up until the first of the year.
I want to thank you so much, Mayor Miller, because I know you're so busy with so many things and so many organizations. And we truly appreciate you spending the time with us today, and I wish you the best and safe and stay safe and healthy.
You too, and thank you very much for allowing us the opportunity. We're here to serve you. Anybody can call me at my cell numbers right on the website page. All our councils available. And I can say that for all the cities. I want to thank all of you for what you do, but also our first responders and all the individuals out there that are doing the day-to-day stuff I think we take for granted on a continual basis, like our grocery store workers and our gas station attendants. The people that are out there, just not the health organizations, but those ones that are out there that help us on a daily basis. I'll be happy when I can go back and sit in a restaurant and enjoy company in my favorite place. And so together we're stronger. Please think about those other people that are out there, because it's just not you, it's the people around you and the people you love. So, thank all of you. And like I said, the city's here to help. Please contact us and call us anytime, and let us know what we can do to help you. And your question on the hotels, I will get with Carl and them, and we'll get you an answer back.
All right. Thanks again, Glenn.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.